This is Stevie Dub. This is the Behind the Lyrics Say All Tell All edition, baby. Let's go.
This is how it is, this is how it goes. I'm living the life I dreamed of living years ago. It took us some time to accomplish all our goals, but we shining right now. We've been on a fucking raw, future's bright, we steady.
So verse 1 starts off with me saying, I don't take advice anymore, I'm killing all that noise. Because when I grab a mic these days, I'm killing all these boys. So essentially, once again, I'm saying it how it is. I'm being straightforward, I'm being honest. I don't take advice anymore, I'm killing all that noise. I feel like I'm in a league of my own when it comes to, lyrics, making music. So that's why I say, because when I grab a mic these days, I'm killing all these boys. Next line. Used to think that everybody wanted this just as bad as me, but that was so far from the truth and just the saddest thing to see. That's just me basically saying that I felt like there was a lot of people that were involved in what I was doing that I felt like had the same vision as me that in the end actually didn't. And it was a sad thing for me to see, and I'm here with the team that I'm supposed to be with, and that's just the way it's supposed to go. Next line is comment section filled with people talking about the old days. It's okay to reminisce, but you should switch up your ways. Ain't no better moment than the present. With me saying that is basically me saying like so many people are caught up in the past, or they're so future focused that they can't enjoy the present moment, which is why I say ain't no better moment than the present. What's got you feeling down? What's got you out here stressing? So I'm talking about how people are stressing out, worried about their problems, worried about their lives because they're so fixated on what happened in the past or being defined by something that happened to them in the past, or worried about what's going to happen or what's to come in the future, that they don't give enough time to the present moment, which is the greatest moment in my opinion that you could ever live in, because there's never going to be a greater moment than right now. It's crazy to me how we live inside a moment which don't allow us to enjoy the current we're in, hold on to it, and then own it. We destroy it if we don't allow ourselves to feel it. People have a tendency to define themselves by the circumstances that happen to them in their lives. So they live in a moment which don't allow us to enjoy the current we're in. So when I say current we're in, I'm talking about the current moment. Hold on to it and then own it. You can't live in the now if you're so focused on the future or predicated on what happened to you in the past. So we destroy it if we don't allow ourselves to feel it. Feel the now. And then I say, is this too deep for you? Or can you feel it? Please let me know. Or is this all worthless because I just barely scratched the surface? Second verse starts off pretty deep. I say, we live in a society where sobriety is surprisingly not important enough and privately discussed with disgust. What I mean when I say that is I feel as though from my own personal experiences of being the guy who goes to parties sometimes and I don't drink a lot and I, barely indulge at times in like smoking out in public or anything like that, people look down upon that. As a society as a whole, I feel like that is one of those things that is kind of looked at as like you're not the cool guy, you're not the cool girl if you're not out and you don't have a drink in your hand, or you don't want to sip, or you don't want to take this pill or try lean or do this and that. So it's not on a high priority list for people to be sober, to be coherent, to be available mentally, physically, emotionally up here in their heads. The next line is, we feel we must adjust to the norm, then get swarmed into the swarm and get misinformed about what's real. So what's real? So that line is saying the normal is being fucked up, being on drugs, being an alcoholic. Nowadays in this society, it seems like taking pills, doing lean. So what I say is that we feel that we must adjust to that. And from that, at the last bar says, what's real? We don't know what's real anymore, I feel like, as a society, because everybody is living this fake facade type life where they have to fit the norm, the quote unquote norm of what other people are doing, whether that's taking drugs or, music-wise, indulging in music that everybody else thinks is cool. Therefore, they lose their actual identity. So what's real? The next line is, this whole generation is fucked up and don't want to feel anything at all. Addicted to drugs, sex, and alcohol. But is that all? With that being said, what's real? Everybody's addicted to something. Everybody's addicted to a drug, addicted to a pill, addicted to some form of liquid something, addicted to sex, addicted to other people. Everybody has lost themselves. Nobody actually knows who they are because they're so fixated on fitting the bill of what other people say is supposed to be the right thing to be, that they lose themselves ultimately. I once thought if I ran around, I would run the town, but all of that running around will just run you down. And I can't take advice from a grown man who doesn't know himself and tries to teach me about the music industry and all his wealth, but goes home and wants to kill himself. Let me dissect the first part first. So basically what I was saying was I was a victim of what I was saying before, trying to fit the bill and the norm of what other people wanted me to do, which is why I used to run around LA and Hollywood and all these places feeling like I would run around, and run the town, but all it did to me was run me down, because I was living a lifestyle in which I thought was going to get me friends and get me popularity and get me somewhere further in the music industry, when in reality it was actually getting me further and further and further away from myself. And then I looked at myself and I was just a little lost, where I was like, am I doing this shit for me? Am I doing this for the other people? Am I doing it for the image? Am I doing it for the gram? Like, what am I doing? And that brings me to my next line, which is, I can't take advice from a grown man who doesn't know himself and tries to teach me about the music industry and all his wealth, but goes home and wants to kill himself. That's real life, but that sounds like a living hell. He ain't living well, but still, I wish him well. I had a mentor, I don't want to say any names, but I had a mentor in the music industry who told me about all this stuff and drove around in fancy cars and was with celebrities and posted pictures like he was the happiest man on earth. But then he'd go home and he'd send text messages to myself or others about how he was so depressed and didn't have anybody to go home to in this big gigantic mansion of his in the hills in LA. And to me, that was, like I said, that is a living hell. You have all of what the outside world looks like of everything. Cars, money, the biggest brands giving you clothes, the biggest artists in the world stamping you, but then you go home and you are by yourself because you have lived this unnatural life that fit the bill, the norm of what everybody else thought was regular, instead of staying true to yourself. And now you're older and you have nothing really to show for it except for an empty home, no loved ones, no significant other, no kids, and you just have, you have some Grammys and some plaques and things like that, but at the end of the day, is that like really love? You really have the love that you want? So that was the line that I wrote about that situation. Maybe all of us are stuck in our own heads. Maybe all of us are just the living dead, because a lot of us are dead inside. It's crazy, but I don't want to sympathize. So what I'm saying by that is, of course, maybe all of us are stuck in our own heads. Maybe all of us are just the living dead. I say that because we're all out here. We all have brains. We all are functioning human beings. But we're all controlled at times by substances, by sex, by other people, by society, by your past. People could literally go through something that they carry with them forever. Whether that's abuse or, somebody telling them that they'll never amount to something, and they'll actually believe that about themselves. And they will take that and they will harness that for the rest of their lives, and they're never able to overcome that. Of course, we all have the ability to, but if you're not able to kind of work through your mental health issues and find the help that you need, then you'll live on with that forever and you'll be defined by that. So that's why I say, like, maybe all of us are just a living dead. Like, we're all living out here as functioning human beings, but in the inside, it's like, are we actually aware of like the things that we're doing? Are we actually making choices for ourselves, or are our minds programmed so much from the things that we've endured in our lives that we're actually not even running our lives? Our minds are running our lives, and you're not running your mind. That's crazy. That's literally crazy. So that was the behind the lyrics for my latest track, How It Is, which is track 1 off Say All Tell All. My next post is going to be the music video, which is going to be live on my IGTV. So guys, make sure that you guys check for that. I'll be posting it very soon. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time.
I'm just living life right now. I'ma live how I live.